Hey everyone! Welcome to Posy to Mind. Have you ever reacted to something in a moment of anger only to regret it moments later? What if I told you that the true power lies not in what you say or do, but in what you don't? Welcome to Posy to Mind, where today we're diving into the incredible strength of silence and self-restraint. Imagine a version of you that's immune to provocations, someone who remains calm and composed no matter what life throws your way. Sounds impossible? It's not. Keep watching, and I'll show you how mastering the art of not reacting can transform your life, personally, emotionally, and even professionally. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept away by emotions. Someone cuts you off in traffic, a colleague says something you didn't like, or maybe a friend made a comment that hit you the wrong way. The knee-jerk reaction is to snap, to fire back. But what if you didn't? What if your power lies in doing nothing? This is where emotional regulation comes into play, and the benefits of mastering it can be life-changing. Today, we're going to explore why it's essential to learn how to not react, and how doing so can improve your relationships, decision-making, and overall happiness. 1. The power of silence. The first thing you need to understand is that not reacting doesn't mean being passive or weak. On the contrary, it's an enormous show of strength. Resisting the urge to lash out or react impulsively allows you to maintain control over your emotions and the situation. And here's the kicker. People notice when you don't react. In a world where everyone seems to have something to say, your silence can speak volumes. It can convey power, confidence, and wisdom. Think of the last time someone tried to provoke you. Did your reaction help the situation? Most likely not. By choosing silence, you shift the power dynamic. You show the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are in control. 2. Personal story. My journey to emotional regulation. I'll share a personal story here. A few years ago, I was in a toxic work environment where I was constantly provoked by a colleague. At first, I would snap back, defend myself, or even get into heated arguments. But then I realized something. These reactions were only feeding into the negativity. I was giving this person power over my emotions. So I decided to try a different approach. Silence. No reaction. It wasn't easy, but over time, I noticed something incredible. This colleague lost interest in trying to provoke me. My silence made me unshakable, and eventually, their attempts to get under my skin stopped. I had regained control, not just over the situation, but over myself. 3. Recognizing extreme emotions and chemical countdowns. Psychologists have a term for the initial flood of emotions you experience when someone pushes your buttons. It's called a chemical reaction. Essentially, your brain releases chemicals that cause you to feel anger, frustration, or hurt. This is why it's so important to pause before reacting. Something as simple as counting to 10 can interrupt this chemical reaction and give you a chance to regain control. A practical tip here is the chemical countdown method. When you feel a rush of emotions, take a deep breath and count backward from 10 to 1. It sounds basic, but it works. This simple technique allows your brain to process the emotions without acting impulsively, helping you stay composed. 4. Finding your emotional triggers. Another key to mastering emotional regulation is to understand what triggers your reactions. Sometimes, it's not even the event itself that makes you react. It's something deeper within you. Ask yourself, why did this make me so upset? Is this really about them, or is it about something I'm struggling with internally? For example, you might find that your anger is less about someone's rude comment and more about an unresolved issue you have with yourself. By recognizing these deeper triggers, you can diffuse your reactions before they happen. 5. Story time. Letting go of anger and stress. Let me tell you about Sarah, a friend who was struggling with pent-up anger. For years, Sarah would bottle up her frustration at work, never expressing how she really felt. Eventually, the stress began to take a toll on her mental and physical health. One day, she finally exploded at a colleague who didn't even deserve it. This outburst hurt her reputation at work, and she regretted it almost immediately. This brings us to a crucial point. It's not just about avoiding outbursts. It's about releasing emotions in a healthy way. Whether through exercise, journaling, or talking to a trusted friend, finding productive ways to let go of anger is essential for long-term emotional well-being. Know the consequences before reacting. Sometimes, a situation might feel urgent, but before reacting, pause and ask yourself, what will my reaction achieve? Will it solve the problem, or will it make things worse? In many cases, reacting impulsively only escalates the situation. The person who provoked you might get exactly what they wanted, a dramatic reaction. By staying calm and not giving in, you rise above the situation. You maintain your dignity and show others that you are not easily rattled. Empathy, the ultimate tool for mastering emotions. The most powerful tool for emotional regulation is empathy. When you view situations from the perspective of others, it becomes much harder to take offense. Often, the people who provoke you are themselves struggling. Instead of reacting, try to understand what they might be going through. This shift in perspective can help you stay calm and compassionate, even in challenging situations. 7. The benefits of not reacting. So, why should you invest time and energy into mastering the art of not reacting? Let's break it down. Better decision-making. When you're calm, you make better decisions. Reacting emotionally often leads to poor choices that you regret later. Stronger relationships. By not reacting impulsively, you create healthier communication patterns with those around you. Whether in romantic relationships or friendships, mastering your emotions can prevent conflicts from spiraling out of control. Increased focus. When you don't get caught up in petty arguments or distractions, you can focus on what truly matters. In conclusion, learning how to regulate your emotions and not react to every provocation is a skill that will serve you for a lifetime. Not only will it make you more resilient, but it will also lead to better decision-making, stronger relationships, and a more peaceful life. Remember, you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And in that response lies your greatest power. Want to learn more about how to build confidence and emotional resilience? Check out our next video. And as always, thanks for watching Posy to Mind.